What happens when work is no longer something you do to survive? When work is not to bring you income, but to bring you joy and purpose? I work differently when I'm not working to survive. I am no longer exchanging my time for a certain amount per hour. It is more of a intentional fulfillment, an internal fulfillment, than it is a way to make a living. What happens when income becomes optional? When we no longer work in order to survive, in order to produce a paycheck that's going to pay bills? What if our freedom is not necessarily tethered to not working, but not having to work, especially not having to work in jobs we don't care about? Work does not necessarily disappear in retirement. And for a lot of us Gen Xers, because we are reinventing what retirement actually looks like, work may never go away until we are physically no longer able to do something we love doing. The reason for this is not because we have done such a poor job on saving for retirement. It's because we prefer to have a structure, and work has provided that most of our life. And we don't necessarily want to lay that down 100%. But what we do want is the freedom to choose what we do with the time that we want to put toward work. Now, I'm all about volunteering places, not a problem. But for me, I do find a lot of personal enjoyment and value in exchanging my expertise, the time that I'm going to invest into a passion project or some other personal venture outside of working for somebody else, punching their clock, doing what they tell me I have to do. But I find quite a bit of satisfaction in seeing money flow in as I'm doing what I love to do. So work for me, after this being my final job, is not necessarily going to be because I have to. It's going to be because I want to. And it's going to be working on things that bring me joy, enrich my life, give me an outlet for my creativity, etc. Now, I know that a lot of us Gen Xers, we're going to have to keep working because we have a gap between what we need every month. Now, if you don't know what you need every month, down in the description, free for you, Master Your Money Plan. It's a basic budgeting workbook that gets you going for what you have to have right now. But then we begin changing the outlook to, what does your retirement budget look like? Because here is the silver bullet. This is the magic wand. If you can create your retirement budget and begin living on it now, while you still have a full-time job, before you hit that retirement wall, you can start tweaking it without the pain, frustration, and fear that you might have if you waited to try it out when you first retired. So down in the description, free for you. So I do know that a lot of us Gen Xers are not going to 100% quit working, whether it's because it's a requirement, we have a gap between what we need versus what we are bringing in. That we also perhaps want to continue working to pay off the debt before we 100% stop working to get us out of all of that extra payments, so that our security in the amount of money that we have is that much more strengthened, because we no longer have all this erroneous debt that we have gotten into during our younger, not quite so mature, wise days. When you need the paycheck, when you have to have the paycheck, that puts you in a completely different mindset. It's more pressure to perform, to please the bosses in the company you work for because you need it. And if you were to lose the current position, the pressure you're under to keep it, it completely shifts the way you think about what you're doing. All of a sudden, it's something you're obligated to do. It's not something you would choose to do. So, what we're talking about here is when we hit a certain age, a certain stage, and only you can define what that is for you, that if you want to continue working, it's at something you choose to work, not something you have to do. It's the amount of hours you choose to work, not the amount of hours they're telling you you have to work. For those of us who would love to actually have our own income production, another freebie for you down in the description, Life Experiences to Income Workbook. This is for everyone, whether you were a stay-at-home mother or dad, or you have been at the top of your profession for the last 30 or 40 years. We all have skills. A lot of them are going to surprise you that enrich our lives, feed our souls, make us happy that we get the opportunity to do those and to bring in an income. That for me, that is the ultimate measure of success, is when I love what I do, the money doesn't matter. So all of a sudden, it is no longer working because I have to. It's working because I love what I do. I love the results it brings to the people in my life, to my clients, to folks like you watching these videos. It's not because I absolutely have to have the money. May or may not ever monetize everything I'm into, but like, subscribe, share, help me keep this channel going. Regardless of if this brings in income for me, I will continue because I enjoy this. I enjoy every aspect of it. So go and get the free workbook, Life Experiences to Income. Figure out what your income and side hustles are, and you can continue looking into what you want to do that's going to bring you joy and satisfaction versus something that you absolutely have to do. As you build a side hustle, a passion project, an income stream while maintaining your current full-time employment, because you see that you're on a glide down, you're going to stage out, you are going to make the leap into this next chapter of your life slowly and intentionally. It changes the power that your current job has over you. You continue to show up at that job, that full-time job every day, because it is a tool that you are using to fund your future, to pay your current expenses when it comes to healthcare costs, etc. It is no longer the sole single reason you get out of bed every day. It is optional as you continue building what your future looks like. And your future may be to 100% quit working. If that's what you want and you're set up to do it, then go for it. Great. But if you're like me and you think, be nice to be the master of my calendar and my clock every day, but I don't necessarily want to stop 100%, I'm with you. I fully understand that. And as you begin shifting your mindset that this is no longer a job I have to have forever, it's a job I choose to have for now so that I can continue using it as a tool, it makes saying no a little bit easier. No, it makes saying no a heck of a lot easier. No, I'm not available to work this weekend. No, I can't go into that. Yeah, I can't take that meeting. No, I can't take that business trip. I've got other things I got to do. As you fill up your life with what you want to do for the joy of doing it, this job that, which is for me, it is my last job. It now serves a purpose. Don't get me wrong on that, but it definitely is not my sole focus every day, all day, 365 days a year. That's long since gone, rearview mirror behind me. So basically, when you don't need every dollar that this particular job is bringing you, when you know that this job is the tool and you're stacking up cash because you're living on your retirement budget and this job is bringing you in more than what you actually need in retirement, you quit tolerating all of the foolishness and the ridiculous expectations. If this video has gotten your attention, stick around because this is the 7th month in my 7-month series about retirement. These are things that we all need to consider. It's not just about the dollars, it's about the cents. And this week of videos is crossing both dollars and cents, because for a lot of us, it is about the money. Even when we decide to retire, we are going to want to continue making some income, even if it's just our mad money, our little slush fund, so we can go out and do the fun things that might spontaneously come to us. Like, yeah, I've always wanted to go to Broadway and see a matinee on a Sunday and have lunch and fly back home. We may not have budgeted for that specifically with our retirement monthly budgets, but by goodness, get a side hustle. Start funding some of those fantastical, I want to throw the best birthday party for my new grandbaby or my graduating great niece, whomever. These side hustles can help you fund that as well. So to sum up this video, work is not the enemy. Your current job is not the enemy. The feeling of feeling trapped, that you don't have options, that is what's sucking the joy out of the next phase of life. For me, it is a mindset shift that I enjoy, and I'm grateful for this job. I'm not putting up with the tomfoolery, the rigmarole, all of the shenanigans my bosses and my coworkers play with. I'm not getting into the drama. I'm here for the paycheck and for the structure and the routine, so that I can film these videos in the cracks of my regularly scheduled day while I continue to take care of my mother in this particular city. But there is going to come a point where this job is no longer even my favorite option, that I'm ready to completely lay it down. So I'm stealing from one of my comments. I don't know specifically what date is my last day. It's somewhere between the next 2 weeks and the next 7 years. The final date is probably contingent on management. All right, I'm Jen. I post on Wednesdays and Saturdays. This is a 7-day series. Come back, enjoy, binge, like, share, subscribe. Go and get your freebies from the description below, Master Your Money Plan and Life Experiences to Income Workbook. There's also the Retirement Reality Reset Kit and the corresponding workbook spreadsheet that goes with that. I'll see y'all soon. Stop recording. Stop recording.